Why were you clapping? I mean, you date men, so you couldn't date a man who makes $45,000 a year?
No. I mean, I also live in the most expensive part of America, like San Francisco. So that's just not.
What's
I feel
the
like
average income there?
What's the average? Yeah, what is the average?
In SF, I think it's like 80K.
Could you date him?
I got a question for you. So why is it that we rush to be married? Because everyone's talking about, hey, go get you a man, go get you a woman, chase the ring, but you ain't chased your own life. You know, here's the funny thing. You know, as I'm traveling around the world and I'm on TV, from Tamron Hall to Fox and Friends to the Rachel Ray shows, one of the most common questions I have been asked is, Anthony, how did you build your success? And it's simple. I didn't focus on getting into a relationship. I maximized my single season. And that is why I created this course. We're gonna walk through 8 pillars on how to maximize your single season and really tap into that potential that's on the inside of you that you really haven't brought out. There's some assignments, there's some constructive thinking that you're gonna have to really put into place so that way you can start building your life. Because when we have ownership, we have freedom. When we have freedom, it creates different opportunities. When we have opportunities, there's so much you can do with your future family. But it starts right now. You own your mind. You own your thoughts. God has given you something. Go do it.
Ladies, could you date a man that makes less than, so the average income in America for a man, single man, is about $45,000 a year. For a black man, 42% of them make $38,000 or less. Could you date that man? You're 23.
Parth is 23.
I mean, you're 25. That's a yes or no question, and it better be.
The answer is.
Are you thinking about this?
Yes, leave it alone.
Because you
Let
said
her
yes or
think.
no.
I'm not even gonna lie, like,
You could not date a man who makes about $45,000 a year. Parth, are you over there clapping?
Don't be ashamed of the answer.
like it's too close up on my number. Like I'm almost making, a little bit.
Parth, why were you clapping? I mean, you date men, so you couldn't date a man who makes $45,000 a year?
No. I mean, I also live in the most expensive part of America, like San Francisco. So that's just not.
What's
I feel
the
like
average income there?
What's the average? Yeah, what is the average?
In SF, I think it's like 80K.
Could you date him? You still thinking?
For me, it's like if you're able to have an independent life without relying on anyone else, yes, I can date you.
D?
See, this is very nuanced because for me, it's more so about the mindset.
No, we ain't going into mindset.
No,
Yes or no?
It's hard to say
It's
yes.
just a yes or no question.
But
If he
you-
makes $45,000 a year,
some things are just not yes and no. Some things are based upon circumstance.
but this one can.
Okay, well, no. Unapologetically.
He's making 45K and he's like on his way and he's like working on a
no.
startup. No.
He just said yes or no. So based
Yes or no
upon
question.
direct answers,
In
no.
Memphis, Tennessee, can you date a brother who makes $45,000? We ain't talking about San Francisco. We talking about Memphis.
No.
In your state, you saying no?
No, because those are the only two options I have, so I have to choose the no. Because I can't explain why.
You're in Texas and Puerto Rico. Texas man come to you. School teacher. He made
Right.
$45,000 a year.
School teacher, yes.
What? Okay.
Yeah, but he said-
What?
Right,
Okay,
that's
pause,
why
pause,
later
pause,
we gotta explain
pause,
so I can
pause.
explain
All
my
right,
yes.
all right, let's go there.
But
Wait,
yes.
Okay, $45,000 manager at Walmart.
School teacher, yes.
I'm with Terry.
Hey, yo, do you hear this?
Bro, this is wild.
I can't wait to eat this.
Something that grinded my gears was how Anthony and the other guys started talking about the women not liking the different titles of men, and especially the Walmart manager. Like, I'm actually kind of worried that my uncle and brother and cousins who do make less than $45,000 are going to feel like I'm saying that they're not good enough. And that's actually not what I'm saying. I love them to death, and I think that every hardworking man is amazing. I'm just answering the question that Anthony asked, which said, can I personally right now date someone that makes less than $45,000? And I think the truth is I can, because I know how amazing they are, but at the same time, I'm not sure that they're going to be able to really enjoy the same lifestyle as me at this time.
But Walmart manager.
Yes.
But Walmart
Got
manager.
laid off during COVID? Yes.
No.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Public school teacher is the most attractive job.
Hey, yo.
This is weird.
Ask them. One question.
One simple question.
Should they date someone who make not their title?
Right.
Can you date someone that make 45K?
Forget what they do to
It's
make
not
45K.
simple.
It is simple.
It's not simple.
I can see
It's not simple.
Gave us two options.
So I live in New York. It's an expensive city.
Yes. So what's the average income in New York?
I don't know, but 45 wouldn't cut it.
Yeah, I think average income is like 70 to 80,000.
Yeah, so no for me.
So could you date someone who makes 70 to 80,000 in New York?
Oh, 70, 80, yes. I
So
could.
you can date the average guy.
Yes, in New York.
Average income in New York.
Yes.
All right, so let me set this up for the ladies.
Yes.
Could you date the average guy in Texas?
Average income, yes. I can't date the average guy.
Could you date the average income guy in Memphis, Tennessee?
No.
Could you date the average income guy in Orlando, Florida?
Assuming that's more.
Can you date the average income guy in Orlando?
I promise you it's more black and white than you man.
It's
No, it's not black and white.
Okay, I'm about to come there and let you thought. This is frustrating. That's the money guy. That's a yes or no simple question.
Yeah.
Part. In California, can you date the average income guy?
Yeah.
Y'all can explain. I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes to explain this crap.
Like, okay.
So why can you not? How come you cannot? What's the difference between a guy who is busting his butt as a school teacher and a guy who is busting his butt legally and ethically as a Walmart employee, but you have more emphasis on the guy as a teacher, but they both make the exact same income?
I mean, I used to be in education, so I know a lot of good teachers. So I just know their heart.
You're dancing around the question.
But you asked me why, because I know a lot of good teachers. So I would date some of those men. Like, yes, no matter what their salary was, they're just good men.
She right.
Yeah.
I'm attracted to people who want to go into education.
Music for it so she can dance.
Shut up.
Why would you not be attracted to the guy who makes the same income at Walmart?
Because it's Walmart. Like,
It is an
honest
It is an honest job. He's not the cashier.
I want y'all to hear this, America.
He's probably the most.
So I love the fact that he has worked his way up to be a manager. That is a good characteristic.
He is an essential employee.
He sure is. I could date a nurse, 45K.
Yes.
I could date people
What are
in
we doing though?
service.
Why are we making
But
about titles?
the thing for me is,
Everybody can't be a nurse. Everybody
There-
can't be a school teacher.
and maybe this is wrong. He is, and he is doing a great job. And I'm great.
But he ain't the one for you simply because he is a Walmart manager, making the exact same income as the nurse.
that's
He won't,
preference.
he
Can I-
won't
can I-
have time for me,
can I-
and the other ones are service. So I like
Can
service-based
I explain
men.
what I think what
So
Terry's trying to explain is like, yeah, it's like making money is a lot more than like making money to me. I think both to Terry as well. It's like making money is more than just making money. Like
Yeah.
a job is more than just a job. For me, it's like when I like for a Walmart manager, typically it's like about like just generating the income to sustain.
That is not true.
That's my perception.
Let him.
Yeah, so going back to the whole thing with like, the not worrying about like the titles of people you date, I don't think people really got the point. For instance, like I think Terry and I were on the same level. I think Terry and I, we're both attracted to like ambitious people who act in service, right? That's like the best way I could frame it. Like, yeah, I'm really attracted to teachers, people in the medical field, and like, if you're a guy making 45K as a Walmart manager, I know for a fact you can make 45K doing something of a bit more like service, in my opinion. And so it's like you're actively, you're like being at Walmart manager is not something you're forced to do. You're actively choosing that, and you can actively choose to make 45K acting a bit more service. And if you're okay being a Walmart manager for the rest of your life, awesome. Like I have no qualms with that. But that is your life. But that's not a life I'm attracted to.
Let him finish.
Working for Walmart and love being that.
My sister.
Let him finish. Go ahead,
worked for 30 years.
But for me, like being a teacher, being a nurse, that's sacred. That's like you're giving. You're really giving.
You know how many teachers I know that don't like their job?
I mean, I used to be a teacher, so maybe that's why, right? Like I used to be a teacher, and my parents are both nurses, so it's like.
Yeah, I think it's, because I did have a person like who worked for Walmart and they were diehard, like they cared about the company. Yeah. But I think you're just saying like the line of work, education, being a nurse, like they're assisting someone hands-on, like in the store, you may tell someone what aisle something is on, but that may not seem as meaningful.
You really got to care to be good.
There's like some the service, the mindset, all of that. I like those characteristics.
For me,
I'm disappointed.
I chose what I chose because I only had two options. Was either yes or no.
Explain.
Okay,
Because I couldn't explain why I chose no.
Why did you choose no?
Because things are very nuanced. So I said it's about his mindset. So if I meet him and he's making 45K, but he has plans on doing something bigger or he wants to be an entrepreneur, then I'm okay with it because I know that he's grinding towards something more versus somebody who is complacent with just making 45K and never building, never growing, not thinking about investing or anything like that. That wouldn't work for me.
Everybody's not an entrepreneur. Everybody's
Okay,
and
but
that's why everybody's not for her.
Preference.
But I'm saying, there are a smaller percentage of men like that than we.
So that smaller percentage that deserve her.
A good amount of the list. Chop, sit down.
But I mean, I still say that it's about goals. I'm not saying that he has to be an entrepreneur. I'm saying if he's not willing to invest, because you can make 45K and still actually be worth more because of how you invest.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying your mindset is more important to me versus you just making 45K.
Yeah.
If you're at Walmart and you don't see yourself getting out of Walmart ever in life, and it's not to shame anybody that works there, but for me personally, because I am an entrepreneur, because I have certain things that I want to do financially, and it's not just for me personally, I also want to be able to give back to my community. You can't do that making 45K. When we said that we were not open to dating a man that made like less than us or 40K or whatever, it bothered me because that conversation is constantly being had, but I only hear that conversation mostly within the Black community. So it's like we're telling successful Black women that we can't have certain things or we have to bring ourselves down in order to have a man. And so it kind of bothered me. And even though I kind of understood the context, I just didn't like how it was delivered. Not the way you want to. So for me, it's more than just he has to just have all this money and so forth. I need that mindset. Mm-hmm. And because I've been married and because, like I said, what I went through financially, I don't want to be there again. I'm not going to go into all of that, but for me, that's just my preference. And that's why.
It's a no. It's a hard no for me because, like, personally, piggybacking off of what you said, I do think, like, it's the 45K, but like, okay, what's up with the 45K? Like, are you trying to...
So you couldn't do a school teacher making 45K neither? Because they put emphasis on the school teacher.
I mean, if the school teacher's making 45K...
Because I care about youth, I mean, maybe, like, we could probably, like, parallel there, but I'm just saying, like, as a female, I kind of have been conditioned to think that the guy should be making more, and I literally at my age am making that amount of money. So to me,
your man needs to make more money than you.
Yeah, if he's old, especially if he's older. There's no way a 25-year-old and you're older than me, and like that's weird. I feel like I got the pants on. I'm 25, like that's weird. So I personally feel like the women were misunderstood when it comes to the Walmart worker, okay? Because we did not put him down. we did not bash him or say anything about his character, but I feel like, that notion was thrown in there at some point throughout the night. So, Walmart man, keep it up. You are grinding, you are taking care of yourself, you are bringing in that bag that is doing what it needs to do for you. And just because a young lady may not be fond of that, that does not have anything to do with who you are as a person and your character, and that's not what we were expressing tonight.
Yo, before we get to today's Single Mansion, I am so excited because this series is being brought to you by my interactive program, The Singles Blueprint. 8 pillars to maximize your single season, gain clarity on your vision, and you know what? Start building a legacy right now. Now, I don't know about you, but as a single person, one of the things that bothers me so much is when someone says, yo, you're 37 years old and you're still single. What's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me. You're married. What's wrong with you? And you know what? I wish people would stop pressuring us single people into a ring. Stop pressuring us single people into having kids, but really start giving us the education and the wisdom on how to build a successful and a fulfilling life that we will enjoy, that our spouses and children will enjoy down the road. So you know what? I sat down and I met with my mentors and I went through my life and I came up with the program that's gonna give us the 8 pillars that's gonna help us all build success, all right? This program, it includes on-demand training, okay? Live group mentorship with me and with other great people. A private student-only community, and that community will have my personal email and personal cell phone number for these 8 weeks, and over $2,500 worth of free premium bonuses. Now listen, this isn't your typical course, all right? You're not gonna walk away with a bunch of fluff. You're gonna walk away with transformational information and wisdom that will help you as a single person maximize your single season and build that true success that you really desire. Listen, before we get to today's episode, I want you to click the link in the show description because this course is only gonna be open for a limited amount of time. And I want you to come be a part of this exclusive community. Check it out. I promise you, you will love it. Let's get to today's episode.
You agree with that? You were shaking your head.
Yeah, I do. For her, she wants to date an older man, and I'm thinking she wants to date one so that he's more established. So if he's not making more than her, then he's not more established than her.
Does your man need to make more money than you, Derry?
No, I don't care. For me, it's more about lifestyle. Like I'm working towards a certain lifestyle I want to live, and I want to make sure I meet someone who can live that lifestyle with me. So I'm busting my ass for that lifestyle. If someone's not able to have a similar lifestyle, not a millionaire lifestyle, just traveling here and there, going out for food. If someone's not able to follow me throughout that lifestyle, then it's not for me.
You're saying what I'm saying. You're saying.
No. I knew she was gonna take it.
We're saying the same thing because technically, what I'm saying is if I'm already there and you're behind, you're not gonna be. We can't just hop on the road and go somewhere.
Yeah, you have more
cannot do that because
yeah.
I'm already ahead. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't care what the job is. It could be Walmart, it could be this, but as long as we're able to do the same things together, go out for food, travel, do these things.
Hey yo, I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna give him that. They are saying the same thing.
Who? Her and Terry?
Yeah. Here's my problem. My problem is they just didn't articulate it like her.
Right, she's articulating it so much better than
she's
that.
articulating it well, and she's not putting the emphasis on the title,
Yes.
which scares me when it comes to the kind of the rest of the responses because.
Right, can I just be honest?
Yeah.
The Black sisters was focused on the titles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it right
and listen, and I was, you see how I caveat there, right? I said, because the rest of the responses, you see how
I'm sorry.
I thought that it was funny that the women pretty much said one thing and then retracted and said another once we kind of explored what they were saying. They were stuck in position more than they was on the money. And so I thought that was funny because I think that a lot of women sometimes really focus on the positioning instead of the money and the mental side of what that man may be necessarily dealing with concerning his future.
That's fucked up. Going home talking about he just stocked the stuff in the bag.
Yeah, no, but titles are creative.
But we gotta break a couple of misnomers though, because When he asked y'all, he said 45,000 and he's a manager at Walmart. Let me dispel a couple things, number one. Number one, promotion at Walmart is nuts. I know I worked hand in hand with them in my city doing what I do for my city. Promotion is nuts. I know a black woman there who is currently managing like 13 freaking stores, right?
My sister
She
does too.
more than that. So I think Deanna's point is probably the most solid one in this. Not that yours wasn't, because yours was, but when she said it depends on what his thought process is. Because I don't even think it's about him being an entrepreneur. I think it's about him being, how does he grow? What is he looking like to grow? So if he is there, is he willing to grow? Is he willing to go for the promotion? Is he thinking about it? Is he setting himself up for it? I don't want us to always underline everything with entrepreneurship, because I agree with you, bro. Everybody is not an entrepreneur. And we've sold this dilemma in America through platforms like, well, everybody ain't gonna be that. Some people gonna get up, they're gonna work their job for 30 years, they're gonna be happy, they're gonna get promotions,
Correction.
they're gonna get money.
They don't work their jobs for 30 years like that anymore.
My uncle did, but not anymore. You're
Not
right.
anymore.
I mean, I'm literally saying that because I think
I'm not
we
attracted to
look at-
that. Like that's not my preference.
I think I'm literally saying that because I think the reality of it is what we look at is what people are doing, and it seems like it's an alarming number because a lot of people are doing it. But if you're working a 9 to 5 and you're building entrepreneur, you are working your job.
Yeah.
And so the reality of it is people are still working jobs for 30 years. It may not be the alarming amount of people that we see because we're in a space, but there are people who ain't moving from their job because they just like, why? And I think we discredit those numbers of people because we bring a stat in like, oh, well, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. But let's be honest, even the people who claim to be an entrepreneur aren't really an entrepreneur. So they still working their 9 to 5, you know what I mean, getting it until it breaks. So I'm just careful because I agree with you guys. I think you are really all saying the same thing. I think my issue came in is when we added the title from a different position, because you know what it sounded like, and I'm gonna land here, I'm gonna let y'all go. I heard y'all talk. I'm gonna land here. It sounded like to me what I hear through conversations sometimes. And I think it's scary for me. It's these double standards that we have, and I don't know if it's right or wrong. I can't speak on if it's right or wrong. But we're okay with the man who is playing who's playing basketball in his community. He has nothing. He makes it to the league. He gets something. Makes it to the NFL. He gets something. And he comes back and gets you who has nothing. Who has nothing.
From his
I don't care if you like the word or not. He comes back and gets you who has nothing.
But that doesn't
and you come up
happen.
to something.
None of us
But
have
we're
nothing.
saying that if a man who has a little of something, I'm not willing to do it. That's shocking to me.
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back to the
That's
community.
shocking.
He's going
He's
to
going to
That's shocking
find
to
one
me.
of the groupie
I'm
girls.
gonna-
I don't think. I don't.
Getting a groupie
But hold on,
girl
hold on,
to
hold on,
settle
hold on,
down.
hold on, but listen.
Because it's just such a double standard. You know, ultimately, men do not care, you know, for the most part, what a woman does, as long as she's not selling her body, selling herself right out. We don't really care what she's doing as her occupation. We don't care how much money she's making, as long as she's happy with what she's doing. And I feel like on the flip side of that, it's amazing to see women take a man who's making the same amount of money, but ultimately setting him to the side and not giving him his justice as a provider because he has a certain job title, but yet he's still providing the same amount of money that they would give another person. And that just, to me, it doesn't sit right.
Like,
Listen to
what
his
happened.
example.
What?
Y'all are saying it's not happening. I think we can agree that it's not happening often.
Yeah.
Well, he's saying we are okay with that potentially happening, rather than acknowledging the guy that is still in his community, man of character, man of integrity, working an honest and integrable job, and he gets looked over because he has a title that is not appealing and it's attractive. So, like in y'all defense, I did say, teacher, nurse, Walmart. Y'all lived way over here, and y'all never gave this brother over here even an opportunity.
with our sister.
But we're okay with, and I think that's all he's saying. It's like, yo,
come on, man.
We need people to work at Walmart.
Yeah.
We need people to be and work these jobs because without them, without Walmart, without Target, without
They the ones
Kroger,
kept us afloat in the
without those COVID, we all would have been hurting. That guy looks over, but you're LeBron James.
Well,
You're Doc.
unfortunately, it's probably 4 other women who would take the Walmart people.
But I think what he's saying is those women don't talk. The ones who are talking don't want to deal with those guys.
Wait,
They get
Let
women,
me
though.
actually give credit to those people, which is why when you asked me about the Walmart guy, I paused. I didn't immediately say no. Because, like, I do know my uncles and brothers would be, my brother, my uncles, my cousins would all be.
You didn't pause one.
You did not pause, Sam.
I did pause.
That's what WOG on
paused.
Yo,
But
You
the
didn't
thing
pause
is-
one of these.
wait,
she
but
said they
listen,
do a really good job. She did say that.
I did.
But
So,
I
wait.
said, would you date him? She said, I would date the nurse. Would you date him? I would date the teacher.
That's exactly what she said.
Wait,
That's pause. That's nasty. That's nasty.
Anyway, continue with my thought. So I do want to recognize that if I say, this is why this question is not easy, yes or no. If I say that I won't date somebody under 45,000, I'm saying that I won't date my brother, my uncle, my cousins, which are all good men. And so, like, it's hard for me to say I wouldn't date them because I know that they're good men. However, I also know that I'm a multimillionaire and I do want someone that can live life with me. So it'd be really hard for me to date someone that makes less.
Yeah.
I do want to clarify that I really do think Walmart managers are amazing men. I don't want someone to think that I don't like Walmart managers, but I like teachers. That's not true. Like, I think a lot of hardworking men are amazing. I'm just not quite sure about the salary ranges. Don't even put that. I think all hardworking men are amazing. So that's the.
Well, I just kind of want to know.
And that's unfair to make her feel bad about the success and hard work that she's.
y'all love
No, I'm
you.
not
Are you
saying
feeling
you,
bad?
but sometimes society make women, specifically black women that are financially successful, feel bad because they want certain
But did you
things.
see my example?
I'm not talking you. I said specifically.
No. I'm
society.
saying society. But do you see my example? Society makes women feel bad, or makes women feel not so great because they don't want to take a $45,000 man. But we don't make the man who's making that great money feel bad about
Most
taking
men
somebody.
prefer to
Well,
make
let me
more
say,
money.
can I say
Nothing.
this? Well, I think this is what happens. Even when we think about and take those examples, I mean, the reality is we could possibly sit here and name every single dude in the NBA, and it would probably take us just a little bit longer time to name every black guy in the NFL. The reality to this is it's 24.6 million of us, and it's probably 300 of them. So I think our examples, and I get it, our examples are a little bit skewed. They're very extreme on one end because that's less than 0.000 point something percent. It's ridiculous. So I get your example, but the reality is I don't think it's fair to say, because last night when we talked about traditions, we have a traditional mindset even when we ask questions of them. We're black guys sitting here, and I think that sometimes when we think about our community, we think about it a little bit different ways based on the position we're in, thinking about America and our society. So I think we are a little bit more open to thinking about things on a broader scope than our women right now. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that we think, oh, well, I know my sister is this because we've always taken the role of providing. That's always been our position in our community, right? So it's nothing for me to think I'm supposed to be the one providing anyway. So if she's making this, it's probably not going to bother me because traditionally I've always been taught that. But now we got some of them who on the come up and they're making some things and they want their children and families to look and feel a little different than what we were afforded the opportunities in our communities when we were younger. And I think it's okay. It's all right for you guys to do that. And you don't have to accept it, but I think at the same time, when you say the job title of a man, I don't. That's where my problem comes in.
Right. Okay.
I think the thing that frustrated me most after thinking about it was the fact that we have these moments of misunderstanding because we don't really understand who we are. And I think that that's what I tried to convey in my explanation. I think if there was a moment of frustration, that would be it. I think there was also a moment where we talked about a man's income, where we talked specifically, you want me to turn that off? There was a moment tonight where we talked about a man's income. And I think we gave a $45,000 minimum salary. And some of the women said that they could accept it if a man worked in a particular line of work, a particular career. And that was a bit frustrating to me because I think that actually excluded some very, very, very positive men who had dreams and aspirations beyond what that salary might be at that time. So I think that's frustrating when you hear that, but it's a reality. It's actually, it's the society that we live in. That's our reality, but sometimes that's a really frustrating thing.
Okay, so I want to say two things. One, when I got my first teaching job, I was going to make $42,000. At that time, that was the most money I was ever making. I expressed this to my partner, and he said to me, "Oh, so you're going to be making more money than me?" I was excited to share this moment with him, that we were going to be able to be in a better position, be able to do more things. At that time, my bills was this much, and he took that excitement away from me wanting to share that with him, and he instantly made me feel bad for,
That
doing
speaks
better.
to what I just said, though.
Secondly,
Tradition.
The
Right.
second thing is I worked as an essential worker at the beginning of the pandemic. Because I was teaching, because I do things related to dance and stuff, everything stopped for me. So I went from, I would say about 90% of my income halted, like in one day. Right. So I said, well, I'm gonna go get a job as an Amazon driver because I know they making money. I delivered for them, and the conversations I would hear, I never really heard anybody, specifically the men, talk about other things that they wanted to do. And that's why I said it's more so about the mindset. And it's not to shame anybody that works there. They might be perfectly fine where they are. But for me, I want a little bit more. I said I want to invest. I said I want to give back. I know I can't do that to the magnitude that I desire to if I'm only making a certain amount of money, because I'm going to be living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And I understand.
And I think the key thing for me is, I think all the guys here, I don't think we're upset with your preference.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We're not upset with the fact that you want more for your community, especially within the minority community. I don't think that's not a problem. The problem comes in with me, going back to what Jeremy just said, and even taking it even a little deeper, is it came off that you all don't see and you're not willing to allow yourself to see the fruit of his labor.
Right.
It's because I work for Walmart, you're not even giving me the opportunity to show you that I have vision, that I have a mission, that I'm going somewhere. But because I work at Walmart, I'm automatically looked over because my job is not as appealing as a teacher, but you don't know what's in my mind.
Right.
And I tell everyone that's in my group, like, hey man, when it comes to ladies, especially the younger one, because I'm not a dating relationship expert, but I would definitely say when I was working at a church making $38,000 a year, do you know how many good looking ladies looked me over simply because I was a youth pastor? But they never asked me, where are you going? What are you doing with your life? Like, oh, what are you doing? They always went for, the people who were driving the BMWs, the Mercedes, and working at these big old places. Those guys, not saying those guys are crazy, because now I'm in that category. But the problem is, now when they see me on shows, when they see me on TV, hey Anthony, don't holler at me. Because you didn't see my mindset. You didn't see what God was doing on the inside of me, and you looked me over. And I know a lot of guys in Walmart right now that would probably make more money than you in 20 years from now, 10 years from now.